What is going on, Pats Nation? It's Patriots Global back here with, of course, another video. And what's better than to give yet again another Patriots training camp recap video? Of course, if you guys would like to see the other videos we made on the Patriots training camp recap, which again, I highly suggest, so you can see what players have really transformed from day one to the point that we are now, I will leave a link to the playlist below. You can also just go to my channel and click on the playlist and you'll see the playlist for the Patriots training camp recaps. Again, highly recommend you guys go check those out after you watch this video. But I believe this is the 8th one that we were doing, or not the 8th one, but the 8th day of Patriots training camp recap. This is going to be for 8/20/2020. And that, of course, is August 20th of 2020. So let's just start straight off the bat. But actually, before we get into that, I do want to let you guys know that we have started a YouTube channel for the FantoFan Network. Of course, as you all know, we were doing a lot on Twitch, but we're really trying to transform more now into YouTube. It's not necessarily that we're stopping Twitch, but we're trying to get much bigger on YouTube and really navigate there. So I'm going to leave a link in the description below for you guys to go follow and subscribe to FantoFan Network on YouTube. Your boy's going to be doing some stuff for the Patriots, of course. You're going to be seeing me on there with a lot of the other guys from the AFC East talking about that. And of course, all of your all-around NFL news. Guys, go ahead and check it out. But let's just hop right into the video. Like always, just some things to know before we get into the specific positions. Today, the Patriots were back to full pads. They had switched for the last day or two to shells after doing about 2 days of full-on pad practice, and it looks like today they went back to that. Like I told you guys, they were only going to do that for a day or two, and that's exactly the situation that happened. Now, as for the ones that were absent, Sony Michel, Lamar Jackson, N'Keal Harry, Yanni Kajust, Bo Allen, Derek Rivers, Tayshawn Bower, Stephon Gilmore, and Adrian Phillips. So New England had a lot of absence today. I'm not too sure what that is about. It might be Belichick just trying to give some of these guys a rest. He's really liked what he saw from them. That's kind of why he let them go into shells the other day instead of full-on pads, so it could always be that. But of course, nothing new here on either Sony Michel or Lamar. So the ones that returned, finally we got undrafted free agent wide receiver Jeff Thomas back in the situation. Not going to hop too much into that just because I want to really touch on this in its own specific video, so expect that to come. And Anthony Jennings, the Patriots rookie linebacker, also came back after he missed a few practices for God only knows what. Now, those who were limited were Jeff Thomas, Will Hastings, and Anthony Jennings. So, you know, maybe Will Hastings when he came back, Anthony Jennings, maybe those guys were dealing with injuries, possibly Jeff Thomas. But again, I will get into that in a separate video. This was another day and another win for the Patriots defense. I'm sure none of us are surprised. Somebody did ask me in the comments, they said, you know, Patriots Global, do you think that this is a sign that the Patriots defense is again that good, or do you think this is a sign that the offense could be mediocre? And I said this is a really tough situation to kind of really navigate through and ultimately kind of see, just because this is an offseason very different from any other. So, you know, we're not really getting much news, let alone the news that we would have gotten from this standpoint if it was a regular offseason and getting OTAs and minicamp and, of course, a longer training camp. But to that answer, if I had to make my honest to God, predictions on what that situation is right now, I would say it's a little bit of both. But moving on to the quarterback position, Cam Newton was the best quarterback for New England today. And this is not to take away from anything good that Cam Newton did, but it helped him out a lot that both Hoyer and Stidham were not looking all that good today. Now, Cam wasn't exceptional, but he was taking care of the ball and overall just continues to look a lot more comfortable with the New England Patriots system, which is exactly what you want to hear. He's having a lot better release timing, he's a lot more decisive, and he's finding his checkdowns, and he also ran a few times. And that's exactly what I want to hear. You know, we've heard a lot about him trying to go deep down the field and not necessarily working out 24/7 because his accuracy deep down the field isn't great. His accuracy, period, is not great. So, look, take the check down if that is your only open option. Don't force something that's not there, and I feel like he's finally learning that. Now, sadly for us Jarrett Stidham fans, the cold streak is continuing for him. I don't know what's happening with Jarrett Stidham. He was in the zone before. he was killing it. He was the best quarterback in practice. And now all of a sudden, he is just taking a complete plummet. He threw another few interceptions today. Ball placement was iffy. And he also received just a lot less reps than he normally would, which again stinks because he was getting a lot of good reps. He was looking like the best quarterback in practice. He was taking care of the ball, and his accuracy, guys, he was dropping dimes. So what happened the past few days, I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if he's getting in his head, though. Hopefully, he can really turn this around, though. Now, the side sessions today with the quarterbacks were with James White, Mohamed Sanu, and Devin Asiasi in 11-on-11s. Cam Newton went 7 for 13. Stidham went 2 for 6 with 2 interceptions, and Hoyer went 6 for 11. For 7-on-7s, Newton went 3 for 4, and Hoyer went 0 for 4 with an interception. Stidham did not get any 7-on-7s. Now, as we move on to the running backs, not too much to say for this one other than Damien Harris was the lone back to punch it in during a goal line drill. Overall, he's looked really good and really decisive, especially today. And if you don't really know what I mean by that, just means that he's really good at making decisions. He knows what he wants to do, and he goes for it. He's making the smart decisions. He's taking care of the ball. But also, what I mean by was the only back to punch it in. He was the only one to actually score in the end zone when they were doing goal line drills. Moving on to the wide receiver position, we have some news that you don't want to hear. You don't want to hear ever, and that's Julian Edelman is dealing with some type of injury, some type of leg issue. We don't know what that is. The Patriots never disclose injuries, especially during training camp, because they don't have to. Bill Belichick, of course, chooses not to. Now, he wasn't limited today like he was in other days, so that is a good sign, but after an incompletion in a drill, he ended up throwing his helmet to the ground and spent the rest of the day, or the rest of the drill, rather, on a bike trying to take care of that knee. There was a few good wins today for wide receiver and speedster Damiere Byrd in one-on-ones. He beat Jason McCourty and J.C. Jackson deep with ease. Two really, really great corners for the New England Patriots. So the fact that he's able to beat them definitely is making me confident with him heading into next season. Gunnar Olszewski, yet again, is improving, and he's proving that he's on the field, and he's showing everybody that he deserves to make this roster. And what did I tell you guys about Gunnar Olszewski? Before heading into training camp and these offseason programs, I said, I'm not booking Gunnar Olszewski to make this roster unless he can make a big turn of events. If he can make a big turn of events, I see him making this roster, and he's making that turn. And I'm really proud of him, and being able to see that, because I think we all like Gunnar Olszewski and want to see him improve. Now, his best play was when he dismantled Justin Bethel on a comeback route. He also went 3-0 in one-on-ones, meaning that he was undefeated against every single defensive back he went up against. Overall, he just looks much better than he did last year. His route running improved. He just looks bigger in general. He needed to pack on pounds. This is what we were always saying. He's more explosive, and that's exactly what I wanted to see. Lastly, for the wide receivers, both Jeff Thomas and Will Hastings' speed is really standing out in a drill. I don't see both of them making this roster, but, it's good to see that. Real quick though, guys, there is no shortage of action going on with our exclusive partner, BetOnline. As we all know by now, sports are slowly making their way back with the UFC, NASCAR, soccer, all leading that pact, essentially. BetOnline has all of the best odds and lines for the upcoming matches for the upcoming weekend. If you need more than that, like always, your boy got you covered, because BetOnline has simulated NFL, NBA, and UFC events happening every single day live for you to check out. If you're looking for something other than sports, I understand that. And I thought about that already, and I got you covered, because BetOnline has hundreds of live casino games, poker tournaments, and all of the best props in the business. Guys, go ahead and visit betonline.ag or use your mobile device and join now to receive your new welcome bonus and start playing today. BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. As for the tight ends, nothing was said. As for the offensive linemen, Yelda Froholt seems to be the guy that is continuing to get those offensive guard reps. It looks like he is going to be the backup this upcoming season for the New England Patriots. He's the type of guy that has really been able to play all over the offensive line, more so within the interior though, so he'll really be that backup interior offensive line player, despite him really not looking too great. I think the Patriots are really trying to get him those reps to try and figure out what they can do with him to help him improve. Lastly here for the offensive lineman, Corey Cunningham had the highlight of the day. He flattened some defensive linemen, don't know who it is, but he straight up flattened them during a red zone drill. As for the defensive linemen, there was nothing said. I don't think any of us are surprised about that. Kind of stinks that this whole offseason, when it comes to training camp, we've heard pretty much nothing about the defensive linemen, which does concern me. As for the linebackers, Cash Maluya did make a really nice stop at the goal line, brought down Jakob Johnson, which I think says something, and he also had a few blitzes that would have resulted in sacks. Now, Terez Hall also made a few great defensive stops during the goal line drill to end the practice. He popped J.J. Taylor on one of those plays. Moving on here to cornerbacks, and this is also going to be the last one. There was no news on safeties or special teams today. So to end this out, J.C. Jackson had 2 pass broken ups, the PBUs, and Jonathan Jones had 1. UDFA cornerback Miles Bryant made a few nice plays, also was able to pick off Hoyer and Stidham, and had a PBU in 7-on-7s. Miles Bryant, y'all, that man is making his name heard. He's making some rookie mistakes at times, but the amount that he's doing, he's showing that he's a ball hawk. He's had a few interceptions already, and I swear every day I'm seeing this guy's name within the notes that we're getting from training camp. He's going to be a guy to watch. What do the Patriots do with him? I think that it gets pretty stacked up at that position, so is he going to make this roster? I'm going to go with no. But this could be a situation where Belichick wants to see him back next year and ghosts him with an injury. Lastly here, Justin Bethel had an interception. He's the one that essentially picked off Jared Stidham. But that is going to be it for today's video. This is a recap for the New England Patriots training camp 8/20/2020. August 20th of 2020, guys. Make sure you check out the other training camp recaps if you haven't already. It's only going to help benefit you guys and really know what to expect from these players heading into roster cutdowns in a few weeks, which of course I'll be covering, but also how these guys are going to perform next, this upcoming season, rather. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for all of your New England Patriots news. Give this video a big thumbs up, and remember to subscribe to FantoFan Network. Link in the bio, and also will be pinned in the first comment in the comment section below. Like always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video.